Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Right.
Well? Got it.
Right.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster. I hate camping out.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately? It's hard to even walk with all this snow and ice around here.
Achoo!
I guess it's also pretty cold, too.
I lost track of how many times Xian fell over earlier.
I didn't fall. I came close, but I never actually fell.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen. When do you find the time to train?
What's brought this on all of a sudden?
It's just, even without the blazing sword, you'd still be able to hold your own, right? But I never see you training.
I'd hardly call it a regimen. Unless exchanging blows with Zeugles counts.
I mean, sure, I get that real-life practice beats training any day. But you must have the odd trick or two up your sleeve.
I just told you, I really don't.
Wait, I've got it. It's your armor, right? You channel the extra weight into your strikes and...
It's actually not as heavy as it looks.
So not the armor, huh? In that case...
Just calm down a little, would you? Why are you so fixated on this anyway?
Well, because I want to make myself stronger.
You're strong enough as it is. I almost feel sorry for those Renan soldiers.
It's not enough. I need to keep working to get stronger. I won't allow myself to fail anyone again.
Law?
I'm useless the way I am now. If someone else dies because of me...
Law!
Sorry. Spiraling into self-doubt won't do me any favors. I know that.
None of us are invincible, Law. We're all just getting by, doing the best we can.
That's all we can ask of each other, right? It's as good a place as any to start, I guess.
To start what?
My new training regimen, of course. And what better way to kick it off than push-ups? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I admire your enthusiasm. Just don't overdo it, okay?
Just wait. You'll see how strong I can get. See you guys tomorrow. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
There's the Zeugl we were asked to handle.
It's on!
No! Dragon Form! Ocean Fury! You're done! Here I come!
Away!
Now!
We did it!
Whatever you do, just stay away from the sword!
Eat this!
You're mine!
Sword!
Raining slash! Crumble!
An instant!
Do it!
Roshi Fury!
I won't forgive you!
Talon Storm!
Swallow Blade! Try this!
Explode
current!
Talon
My
Storm!
turn! Not a chance!
These ones can run rings
Throw
around!
away!
That looks like the Zoogle we were told about.
Pow!
May 1,000 gales
smash
tear you
you!
to shreds! Searing
away!
flame! Reload! Gusty nail!
Here I come! It's over!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
Talon Storm! Do it!
Always good to be back in familiar territory. Hmm? Right!
Damn.
I guess.
Let's see what's going on around here.
Yeah, there might be
Oh, hey!
Right.
Yeah!
All right.
Yeah!
Hey. Hmm?
Did we get everything?
Yeah, let's report back to Brogen.
We finally made it.
I see. All right.
Got it.
What?
That ain't funny. Hey! What'd you say? That ain't funny. Yeah.
Zephyr's words got through to him. The things he risked his life to say were worth it in the end.
I just hope he got through to others, too.
It might take some time, but I think they'll get there eventually.
I have a bad... feeling. Hold together, just a little longer.
Thanks for the sympathy.
Get it together. We need you informed.
Go for the weak point.
Mega Ray! Armor 1! one's all mine! Not today!
Eat this!
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Mega ray!
Lightning strike!
Lightning raging cascade!
I'm on it!
In here!
You're done!
Blazing storm! Here goes!
Lightning strike!
They're not playing
You're
around!
mine!
In here!
Lightning strike!
You are ripped away! None shall escape my judgment!
Lightning strike!
A banana! Let's go! Here goes! Raging cascade!
Lightning strike! Try harder!
Not my fight!
Stay away from my friend!
This one's mine!
Lightning strike!
I'll bring you back from
Lightning
death to
strike!
business! Photon flash!
Lightning strike!
Alright, it's showtime!
Away!
Leave now! Steering wheel! Tucked away!
This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight!
You're done!
Lightning strike!
Away!
I'm not done!
Air thrust! None shall escape my judgment! Seal! Eat this!
Blow away!
Anything normal!
Watch it! I'll smash you!
Dragon swarm!
Like astral energy! It's weakened!
Take this! This ends now!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
You sure showed them!
All in a day's work.
Maybe it's time I try on something new. We've reached our destination.
I see. Right.
Hey,
Huh? I think someone's calling out for us.
they could have something they need from us.
Hey!
Well...
Right.
Oh?
All right.
Thanks for letting me stick around, you guys.
Sure, we're happy to have you. But are you sure you don't want to head back to Calaglia?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I can help yet. But for now, I'm going to follow Alphen and see what happens next.
Okay, off we go. Where does that drawbridge connect to?
No idea, but I've seen it get lowered. It can't be lowered from this side anyway, so it's useless to us.
Go no further!
Swallow blade! I'll cut you all off!
The tide of battle has turned.
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Here I come!
Comrades in arms.
These ones can run rings around us!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
I can feel my precision improving. Out of our way!
May a thousand gales carry you to the
We are freaking invincible!
Alphen and the others truly are so
What about me?
resistant.
All aboard the victory train!
Overconfidence can bite you in the butt.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Freezing storm!
Lightning orb! Raging! It's like trying to keep up with a wall in the sky!
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
You're mine!
Guess I misread the landing. Looks like we won. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Way.
Dragon Swarm! Swallow blade! I'll run you through!
We're in the home stretch, guys.
What she said. Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Me? How come I get singled out?
Well, looky here.
Gotta break through!
I never firmament render!
First strike! My turn! I'll run you through! Raining slash!
We're thinning them out.
We? Like me.
We won that by a mile. Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What's wrong?
Really?
Ah!
Sure.
Hey,
Ah!
Right.
right.
Nice work.
What?
Hey!
Well?
What?
Shion.
What?
Very nice.
Boy, talk about a spry old man.
I can't wait to see him again.
You really liked that apple pie, didn't you?
I hate camping out.
I guess even someone as fashionable as you wouldn't know a whole lot about Dahnan armor, right?
Not really, no. Like, what's with that scarf? I don't remember that being with any of the armor we found back there.
Oh, well, remember how you told me you thought I'd look good wearing some blue? I took your advice to heart and decided to give it a go.
Oh, I see. Well, it suits you.
Would you say I've learned to spruce things up like you suggested?
I wouldn't go that far. All done. Come and eat.
Make sure to get some good rest. I think we've rested long enough. Let's keep moving. Law?
Yeah, sorry. Just a little travel weary is all. Looking forward to finally getting out of here, you know?
Still beating yourself up about your dad, aren't you?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But that's not what I was just thinking about.
Oh?
I never did tell you how I ended up hanging around with the Snake Eyes, did I?
Not properly. All I know is you had a falling out with your dad and ran away from home.
Getting to Cyslodia almost killed me. Once there, though, I actually ended up joining a resistance organization, believe it or not. Of course, before long, someone ratted us out. And we were ambushed by the Snake Eyes. I'd never seen such brutality. If I hadn't surrendered...
Law?
I don't know why. They let me live. They made me watch as they butchered my friends right in front of my eyes. I still have nightmares. I hear roars of Zeugles as my friends scream, the snow stained red with blood, and all the while those bastards laughing. I thought that with Ganabelt defeated, I'd be able to put it all behind me. Turns out that was a little optimistic. I was terrified they would kill me too. So I wound up betraying the memory of my friends and getting my old man killed in the process. I wonder if I'm any braver now. What if one day I panic again and end up running away like always?
And leave us behind? You really think you'd do that?
I hope not. But who's to say what I'm really capable of?
Ah! I found you.
Something wrong, Rinwell?
How very perceptive of you. When I turned around, you were gone, so we came back to look for you.
Maybe tell us next time you decide to stop? We need all our manpower to face these Zeugles.
Geez, okay. I can't help it when nature calls, can I?
Nature? Ew, gross! Here?
Let's make tracks, shall we?
I hope he makes it through this.
You invited him along. He's your liability.
He's Zephyr's son, Shion. What was I supposed to do? Just leave him?
Fine. Just don't come crying to me about it, all right? I've got enough deadbeats slowing me down as it is.
Why did people dig this path so far underground?
Maybe it was too dangerous on the mountains for them to traverse over them.
So you're saying that before Dahnan was conquered, Dahnans made this so that they'd have a way to get through the mountains?
If I had to guess, they might have even lived inside of these once upon a time.
Not like there's any way of knowing now. Not after all our history was lost.
No, it wasn't lost. It was stolen from us by the Renans because they thought slaves didn't need it. And because keeping it around would have made it harder to control us.
It's not all gone. Look at that over there.
What is it? It looks like a broken piece from a dish or something.
Probably. It's true the Renans erased a lot of our history. But if we look hard enough, I think we'll find there's still plenty of it left. But first, we have to win the freedom to even look for it.
We'll win it all right. Then we'll reclaim our history.
Not today!
I'm only getting started.
Raining
I'll run you
through!
Excited.
You're finished!
I'm only getting
Raining
started. They look cute, but they're vicious. By the power of blood, I'll be saving this one.
You got fire!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it now.
All yours!
Barely a blip on our radar.
I guess Messia is the first place we met. Hala.
Yeah, I was a snake eye and you were a silver sword. Who would have thought we'd end up on the same team?
You make an odd pair, it's true.
You guys are the odd ones, running with a Renin.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry. I've got your back. All yours!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little what?
I can carve through armor! Try this! Infernal turret!
Do it!
Get that!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Shot!
Well done!
Now I'm in
Its armor is too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
I'm even stronger than before. It's on! No! Pierce! Swallow blade! Swallow blade!
Is it hot? Just back it out again!
Blow away! All factions in effect!
Glad you have your use.
I'll show you how useful I can be! Blow away!
Looks like we won. Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that game. Something you wanted to say? Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
We got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Hey, when
All
did I
yours.
get so popular?
I I think I'm getting stronger.
All this walking up and down is a pain.
Yeah, I wish we could just go straight through without all this hassle.
On the other hand, the collapsed parts let you reach some places you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
No choice!
They're surrounding us! Freezing! Where are you going?
First right!
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left!
Right! No time to hold back! It got fired!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Here I come! I'll put you through! Do it!
Looks like it could be worth something.
This looks nice and...
Go no further!
They got me flanked! I'm on rush! Oh, and
We're cleaning out.
let me take the rest of them!
Well, is that a gas-wielding part? Now I've seen everything! I'm out of ammo!
Fine freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than
No escape!
easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
Now you see what I can do! Throw away! Slide! Infernal Sword! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Ready?
Try harder!
My turn! All back in your defense!
Glad you had your ease.
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Astral energy, full throttle!
certainly not bad.
No complaints here. I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
I need to be stronger. I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it. Hey, Law. Back when we left Cyslodia, you remember how you said so long as you don't give up, there's nothing to stop someone starting over?
Yeah?
Well, I think you did just that. You've set out on a new path despite what happened in your past. Besides, you're not the only one fumbling your way through things.
You too?
It was your dad who taught me to fight. Back at the start of all this, I knew that so long as I followed him, I wouldn't end up straying. But it was also your dad who told me the importance of becoming my own master, of searching out the answers within me. I always figured I would one day. But at the same time, I had so much more to learn. When he died, I suddenly found myself rudderless. Sure, our immediate goal is to defeat all the lords. But then what comes after that? There's no one left to point me in the right direction. It was then that I realized, no matter how much I fret about it, the only thing I can do is fight. Renin brutality isn't going to right itself. So that's what I'm doing. Fighting. And in the meantime, I'll try to figure out my next move. Right now, that's about all I can do.
And you really believe you got what it takes to win this? Against all the odds?
Yes, I do. Or at least I want to. If I'm being completely honest, sometimes I'm not really sure whether I can or not. So what if we're still figuring stuff out? If we do it together, then we can support one another along the way. Is there anything so wrong with that?
No, I don't think there is. I think I get it now. We may not know what we're capable of, but we have to try all the same.
Having another one of your secret meetings? Don't tell me you were taking yet another bathroom break?
Oh, we were just engaging in a bit of brotherly bonding. Isn't that right, Alphen?
Yeah, that's right.
Fine then, suit yourselves. Hey, I think I can feel a breeze up ahead. I bet the exit is real close.
Finally! Man, it's been too long since I felt the sun on my face. When I get in a tussle, I go full force right at him. Whoever makes the first move wins.
I do have to admit, it's quite the spectacle to watch you charge in and go to town on someone during a battle.
Yeah, it was actually my old man who taught me to fight that way. The more I lay the beat down on some baddies, the more fired up my fists of fury get.
Zephyr taught you? Wow. I guess you really are following in his footsteps.
There's nothing wrong with being so focused on offense, but the enemy always fights back at some point.
As long as I don't get hit, it's not a problem, right?
So what you're saying is you're too weak to take a hit.
You're not exactly one to talk.
What were you two talking about earlier?
Earlier? Oh, it was just serious guy talk. You know, the kind that girls don't get to hear.
Really?
Don't mind him, Rinwell. It's just... well, maybe it is a little difficult to talk about in front of women.
Difficult to talk about? Okay, now I really want to hear it. Unless... it's not the creepy sort of guy talk, right?
No! Okay, it's not creepy.
Okay, okay. As long as you're fighting fit, you can talk about whatever you like.
I think Hoodle senses something. We're finally here. Elde Menancia, the land of green. The place certainly lives up to its name, doesn't it?
Yeah, just feel that breeze. It's like night and day compared to Calaglia and Cyslodia.
Unsullied, fertile land, as far as the eye can see. That's beautiful. Oh, what?
Oh, nothing. Just... I was thinking the very same thing.
That's the realm capital in the distance. The city of Viscint. A word to the wise before we continue. Elde Menancia has produced more sovereigns over the years than any other.
Shion! Guess we should probably follow after her, shouldn't we? Hey, you all right, Law?
Yeah, fine. I was just thinking how Dad would have enjoyed this view. All this green in one place is incredible. Anyway, let's get moving before we start looking tasty to monsters.
Is he going to be okay?
Eventually. That's a wall he'll have to overcome on his own.
So if I remember right, there are 6 elements of astral energy, and darkness is only on Rena, and light can only be found on Dahnan, right?
Right. I only remember because my parents drilled it all into my head when I was little.
How did we find out about dark astral energy in the first place if it's not on Dahnan, though?
Beats me. I couldn't tell you how or when we figured out that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's other stuff we've forgotten along the way, too.
Yeah, I bet. And then we forget that knowledge was even forgotten at all, and it's back to square one.
Exactly. That's why we need to take good care of what knowledge and artifacts we still have left.
You really have a thing for old stuff, don't you?
Well, I don't know that I'd call it just a thing. It's also something that helps me feel connected to our world.
Connected?
It's nothing. Forget I even mentioned it. I should have guessed that there'd be no way he'd understand. How could he? Whew!
Right, here goes!
This one's mine!
Slash! Dragon Swarm! Now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice one, Alphin.
Yeah, there's more where that came from. What's wrong?
Huh? Yes!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Just great.
That can't be.
Nice.
Very well.
Maybe we should have left them alone.
Thanks, Gilanne.
Why are you thanking me?
Get lost!
Blew away!
First strike!
Take this!
Arrow squall!
Blew away! Try this! Be careful, everyone! This one isn't... Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Gusty nail!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
I hate camping out.
Why do you keep staring at me, Xion?
Just, what is that wolf on your shoulder?
Oh, this thing? I love it! I got it off a street vendor for just 10 gold.
I don't know if that's something to brag about.
Hey, 10 gold's a bargain, if you ask me.
Because it wouldn't sell otherwise. It serves no practical purpose. Honestly, I'm surprised you paid 10 whole gold for it.
Shut up!
But the detail is so lifelike. I think you made a good choice, Law.
Really?
I have no idea why you wear it over your shoulder, though.
I think it looks pretty cool.
87! 88! 89! Oh, shoot!
What the? Is the enemy attacking?
Sorry about that. You're not hurt, are you?
Law? What on Dahnan are you doing?
What am I doing? Training, obviously. I found these nice and heavy rocks that I decided to strap onto my arms, but I guess I didn't tie them down good enough because they went flying.
So you were doing improvised weight training. You and your crazy ideas.
I can't help it. If I'm not training, it's easy for me to get anxious.
Well, that's fair. Actually, I remember seeing you practicing your forms for some time when we were camping the other day.
Yep. No amount of muscle will do you any good if you don't stay on top of your fighting forms. It always feels good when I know I'm still sharp.
Sounds to me like you have too much pent-up energy.
Don't train so hard that you wind up hurting yourself, Law. I promise you, you're already perfectly strong as it is.
No, I'm not. You never know what we'll run into out there. You can never go into a fight too prepared, and that's the truth. Besides, I won't rest until I know that I'm stronger than you, Alphen.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, I don't plan on letting you beat me. Maybe I'll add some weights to my sword and practice swinging it. That should help out.
Alphen, are you crazy?
You're right. This does make for decent training. Good call with the extra weight, Law.
Right? Now you get it!
Since we've already come this far, what do you say we have a little one-on-one with our rocks strapped on?
Hell yeah! I'm down for that! Just give me a sec and I'll be all ready to roll. Okay, I'm all set. Let's do this! Take this!
I'm just getting started.
Our camp is completely wrecked!
Go. You two are cleaning it up.
Yes,
Gilanne.
Good food is the best kind of magic.
Gilanne, could we talk a moment?
Shouldn't you be resting?
I wanted to talk with you for a bit.
I don't really want to talk right now.
Right. I'll, stop bothering you then.
I didn't say you were bothering me. Sorry. Don't take it personally. I'm just not used to being around other people, so I don't really know how to chit-chat.
Well, for a start, you let your guard down a little. Hey, here's a thought. What if you tell me about your childhood?
What with my thorns and all, I didn't really have one. Not to speak of, anyway. Although, I guess I did have one friend.
Who was it?
A really old doll.
Oh.
When I was a little girl, the doll was the only thing I could touch and hold without worrying about my thorns hurting it. I would do things like dress it up or sit it on my lap when I was eating. The two of us were practically inseparable.
Can I ask something?
Is it about the fact that I played with dolls?
No, it isn't. I only wanted to ask who gave you the doll in the first place.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Where is it now?
I had to leave it behind when I left Lenegus. I didn't have a choice. Most likely it's long gone at this point. I think it's time we go to sleep. Morning. Ready to head out?
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho!
Maybe something's going on in the forest. Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Oh. You okay? You made a weird sound.
Sorry. I was just thinking how amazing this view is.
What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen mountains and fields before?
Actually, now that I think about it, it's not every day we get to enjoy views like this.
You too?
Yeah. Calaglia has rocky landscapes, but the terrain here is completely different. Like, you see that mountain over there? Doesn't it look like a big wave that somebody turned into stone?
Right? And those ones look like the horns or claws of some giant monster. I'm surprised they managed to stay up.
Yeah. Just be thankful we don't have to pass under them.
Actually,
They won't come tumbling down that easily.
You sure about that?
Menancia harvests earth energy, which explains why the topography is so varied here. It's also why those rocks are bound to be sturdy.
So all that astral energy is also what makes this realm look so lush then. Does astral energy really have that much of an impact on the land?
Yeah. Is that why even that mountain looks the way that it does?
The stronger the energy is, the greater impact it has on lots of things. So yes, like a great big fire.
but these imbalances are too pronounced to be nature's work. It's not how Dahnan would otherwise naturally look.
If it's not natural, then you mean all of this is the Renans doing?
When you put it like that, even something as nice looking as this starts to feel wrong.
Just great.
I guess... Yeah!
Great!
Nope.
Choice!
Azure Storm!
I'm only getting you started.
Azure Storm! Slash!
If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay?
Running slash!
Feel! Get out of all the others!
My turn! That's enough! We
The
did it!
waters of
These
the
little ones.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Azure Storm! I'll run you through!
Lightning orb! Do it!
Here I
Raging
come!
now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
We did it!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back. What's this thing?
Gotta break through! I'll smash you! Azure Storm! Move away! I'll run you through! Swallow Blade!
They
Try
rush
this!
you. You gotta trust the counter.
My turn!
One left. Raging cascade.
Blew away! Rain slap!
Didn't even break a sweat.
Out of our way!
Swallow blade! Try this!
Infernal
Torrent! Here I come!
Confiscated.
Swallow blade!
Bet that gel hiding something tasty.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I'm even stronger than before.
Hey, would you look at that? Green as far as the eye can see. I think even the Zeugles look a little fuller than they usually do.
They're still Zeugles, just on a fuller stomach. Don't forget, this is enemy territory we're in.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
There's nothing here. It doesn't even connect to Viscint.
Maybe something's going on in the forest. This hill. I'm sensing a stronger concentration of astral energy around it.
Oh, does that mean there's treasure buried underneath here or something?
Who said anything about treasure? Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
I hate camping out.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away. Zeugles aside, the ground here is pretty nice and comfy to sit on.
You can tell even without a sense of pain?
Thankfully, yeah.
What would you do if you couldn't even feel that much?
You mean if I had to only rely on sight and sound? And couldn't even taste or smell anything? I don't even want to think about it.
I guess it'd be like looking at a picture in a way, if that makes sense.
A world I couldn't touch. I wonder if that's what it's like for Xion. I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, guys. Ready to go?
it's time I try on something new.
I'll smash you!
Dark Swallow Blade! Try this!
Reload!
Infernal Torrent!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Fire Giant! Here's a real pain in the butt!
Pull it together, Law.
Sorry, right. I'm calm.
Azure Storm!
That freaking does it!
Azure Storm!
Divine Healing!
Azure Storm!
Here's an... Lightning Satellite!
Azure Storm!
Here I go! You're fine! May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds!
Ignite!
I'll finish you here and now!
Azure Storm!
There!
Raining
This is
Blast!
it! Incoming Render!
Azure Damn it!
Let the marksman handle Arrow Swarm!
Azure
Cover
Storm!
the capture! Light Azure Dance in the
Azure
wind!
Storm!
Air Thrust! Healing
Azure Storm!
It's finished!
Let's do it!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Azure
Nope,
Storm!
that'd be silly.
By the power of
Azure
love!
Storm! Azure Storm! Azure Storm!
I'm out of ammo!
Azure Storm! Azure Storm!
I never miss! Lightning Orb! It's weakened!
I'm on it. I'll run
This
you
ends
through.
now!
Reload!
This one's all mine!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me! Back into the fray!
No complaints here.
Raining Blast!
Lightning Orb!
Blow away!
More without
Azure
you!
Storm!
Lightning!
Eat this!
Rage Cascade!
Azure Storm!
Seal away!
Raining
Get
Slash!
on in there with the arcs!
Azure Storm!
Armor won't save you.
Alright! It's
Now,
showtime!
Silent Freely!
Take it down!
away!
In here! Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Azure Storm!
Raging Cascade!
Storm!
Sleep now!
Azure Storm! Azure Storm!
Lightning condemned!
Azure Storm!
Now see that you don't get in trouble again.
They're not playing around! Freezing
Azure Storm! This one's all mine!
Here comes something big.
Try to dodge!
Oh, now I'm real mad.
It's close one! Dance in the wind! I'm only getting started! Dance in the wind!
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. I'm on it. I'll run you through.
Photon flat!
Eat dirt!
Searing flame! Reload!
Blow away!
Attack time.
Cyan instant! I'm all stuffed up!
Whirlwind Azure Storm! Azure Storm!
None shall escape my judgment! Lightning orb! Dance in the
Azure
wind!
Storm!
Air thrust! Light astral!
Armor won't save you.
Azure Storm!
Reload! May 1,000 gales tear you to guts!
Azure Storm!
Nova chance! Gusty nail!
Blow away! Azure
This
Storm!
one is almost in the bag!
Not done yet. It's just falling back.
Then it's time for you to do what you do best!
Azure Storm!
Searing flame! Reload!
Azure Storm!
I'm out! Wind astral energy!
Burn!
Lightning! Hear me!
Raging
Lightning!
blast!
Raging
Blow
cascade!
away.
Spread! Here's a healing orb!
Azure Storm!
First aid! Sleep now! Not in your dreams!
Talon Storm! Azure Storm!
Thunder! Fury! Burning
Big Blast!
Arrow
Azure Storm!
all time! Illustrate you got this
Azure Storm!
Searing flame!
Azure Storm! Azure Storm! Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
With this, I can become even stronger.
I hate camping out.
I'm curious. You do any training, man?
Not really. Can't say I have a specific routine.
So it's just raw talent for you, huh?
It might just be because of how hard the Renans worked me. If you want to train, I'll join you.
Really? All right, let's do it!
Good night, everyone. Well, off we go.
Out of our way! Where are you going? Let's do it!
Not a chance!
It's a duel of the arts! I point it out!
Eat this! Hurricane!
I can feel my precision improving.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
I see a village over there.
The people working in it look Dahnan.
Look at these fields and all this livestock. Am I crazy for thinking these people seem to have it pretty easy?
What the hell is going on here?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What's this thing?
Out of our way!
I can carve through armor!
Portal blade!
Storm!
Infernal turret!
Do it!
Well, looky here.
Let's see what's going on around here.
Yeah, there might be someone who could use our help.
Ah!
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah.
Good grief.
Very nice.
I guess...
Yes. I don't believe this.
Huh? Really? Who would have thought we'd be raising animals in a place like this?
Since we've decided to stop, we should make use of the opportunity.
Do you mean me?
It doesn't matter who. Look, Renan soldiers.
Do the Renans control this city? I've never seen so many of them in one place before.
No. Look at the cores on them. These people are all Dahnans. They're slaves.
If they are, they're awfully well dressed.
And they're smiling, too. Something weird's going on here.
Forgive the intrusion, but if I'm not mistaken, you're newcomers to Elde Menancia, yes? Please, you have no reason to be alarmed. My name is Droshin. I work at the Department for Welfare.
Department for Welfare?
We work to support the day-to-day living of all citizens. Welcoming newcomers to the realm is a part of our job, albeit one we rarely have the pleasure to perform.
Let me guess. We get a free pair of shackles as a welcome gift.
Perish the thought! Your trepidation is perfectly understandable, but I assure you, our way is quite different. In the past, this realm was no different from any other, and run by a rather merciless ruler. But all of that changed once His Excellency, Lord Dohalim, assumed power 7 years ago.
Dohalim.
Under him, for the first time in our lives, we Dahnans were treated with the respect we deserve. Lord Dohalim is adored by Dahnans throughout the realm, and we serve him with gladness.
Am I hearing you right? The Dahnans here willingly serve a Renan lord?
Please, see for yourself. You're free to go anywhere you like. Just ask if you should need anything.
What is it? Spit it out.
It's just, we came here to free everyone.
Uh-huh.
But the Dahnans of this realm are all happy to serve Dohalim. Are there any walls that even need tearing down?
Who cares? That just makes our path to Dohalim that much clearer.
I guess, but...
Still, Droshin said we should check things out for ourselves. Maybe we should look around a bit, see what we learn.
Everyone is all smiles.
I've never seen a city so lively before.
Everyone walking the streets looks so calm and happy. I guess it really is true they don't treat Dahnans as slaves here.
Did they actually somehow achieve equality here? And if they did, why? To what end?
Something here doesn't feel right, even though they sure want to act like it does.
What is going through that Lord Dohalim's mind, I wonder?
Huh? I think someone's calling out for us.
They could have something to... Right.
That can't be.
How's this? Wow.
Hey!
Zugelfangs would make great weapons.
You need to stop this fixation with weapons.
But you're the same way about food. Are you planning to stop that? What's this thing?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I guess.
Sure. Sure.
Okay! All right.
Hey!
I think there's someone in trouble here.
Well, let's see what they have to say. What's wrong?
Yes. Ah! How?
Huh? Hey!
Right.
Nice work.
Right.
No way.
I don't believe this!
Great!
Very nice. What?
I guess...
Law.
Yeah! Whoa! Is that... Oh, this is bad. Real bad.
Ah!
Just great.
Yes!
Man, that was amazing! No wonder the old man was so gung-ho about it.
See? What did I tell you?
Shion, you've got sauce on your face.
I still can't believe I'm seeing Dahnans and Renans getting along.
You never know. It could all be an act on orders from the Renans.
To what end? It would be an incredible amount of effort just to fool us.
Let's check out more of the city. There's probably places we haven't seen yet.
We finally made it.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
Hey!
What's wrong?
Why is this happening?
Huh?
Damn it.
I guess. Got it.
What the?
Yeah. Do Zeugles just go after anything that looks remotely like farm equipment?
Beats me. Let's just focus on ensuring they don't make matters any worse.
By the way, why do you keep looking over yourself?
Huh? Oh, no reason. Don't worry about it.
Go no further!
Now you see what I can do!
This one's mine!
Portal blade!
Photon flash!
Ignite!
Lightning
tear
blast!
you apart!
Try this! If they rush you gotta just recover, okay?
You're mine!
Ice tornado!
It's over!
This is it!
Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
Hi, Hoodle! None shall escape
one's all
my
mine.
Thunder Blade!
Azure Storm!
Really?
My turn!
May a
You're
thousand
on!
It's a duel of the arts!
I'm on!
Nail! Do it!
Raining slash!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Is that the Zeugle we're looking for?
It's on!
You got company!
I'm on!
Right up in here!
You picked the wrong fight!
Let's get you off!
It's
Don't mind if I
fine.
do!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Flying free!
What's the
They
deal?
just sit still!
Shion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Raining slash!
Magic is amp! There's more where that came from.
That looks like the Zeugle we were told about.
Right, here goes! Azure Storm!
Where are you going?
Eat this!
Like hell is hard!
Do it! Eagle Fly!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's the last of the Zeugles that were ruining the farm equipment.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
I mean, hey, I get the feeling. But were you really that worried about us winning?
Oh, no. Of course not.
Huh?
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
You finally made it.
Okay!
Yeah,
You did it! Yeah!
all right.
Well...
guess...
Really?
Always good to be back in familiar territory. Looks like Dahnans are working in the quarry.
Let's go check it out.
So, do any of you know anything about Lord Dohalim?
I think I remember hearing something back in Cyslodia about how he fights using a rod.
A rod?
I don't know the details, but from what I gather, he swings a long rod around and uses it to stab and smack people from afar. I think there's also something he does with, like, trees or grass or something? I forget.
Grass?
Bear in mind that Elde Menancia harvests Earth astral energy. It would be no surprise for him to have some sort of control over plants.
So basically the point is we know nothing about the guy. Wish we weren't going in completely blind.
Stay sharp. We're going in.
I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well today. Could I please take the day off?
Oh, that's terrible. Rest up and try not to strain yourself. I'll let the others know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Everybody seems so happy working here.
And it seems like the soldiers are there to actually protect them rather than keep an eye on them.
I don't get it. How can it be like this?
Halt! I presume you're Alphen, of Orbis Calaglia? I'm Captain Kisara of the Elde Menancia Guard.
Just Kisara? No last name would make you a Dahnan.
So it does. Is that a problem?
The guard. Wait, so you're saying the Lord of Elde Menancia has Dahnans protecting him?
In this country, Dahnan guardsmen aren't unusual. Everyone who enlists does so of their own free will.
She sounds like she's serious, Alphen.
That makes no sense. Don't your people remember 7 years ago?
Wouldn't you be grateful if you were finally allowed to live as a free person? And for my part, there is no greater honor than being chosen to serve His Excellency, Lord Dohalim. I feel no shame. But all of that aside, I came seeking you, Alphen, at Lord Dohalim's behest. He wishes an audience with you.
With us?
Indeed. He awaits you at Autelina Palace. That is, if you choose to accept. I am here only as a messenger, not a kidnapper. Your reply?
All right. We'll meet your lord.
Very well. I shall return and deliver your acceptance. Please don't keep him waiting too long.
Before you go, what lies beyond this point?
A quarry manned by Dahnan laborers.
Nothing else?
There's a Dahnan medical facility for the severely ill at the back. However, for sanitation reasons, it's kept off limits, even to guardsmen.
That was odd. Why do you think this Dohalim would want to see us?
It's probably a trap.
Still, they already know we're here. Not like we can start being stealthy now. We might as well listen to what he has to say.
Hey, are you sure about going? What if it's a trap?
That's no reason to back out now.
Law's right. I get your concern, but we should buckle down.
That Kisara woman. She sounded pretty smug about serving Dohalim, didn't she?
She still has a Renin for a boss. How is that any different from being a slave?
Renin society is a meritocracy. To us, it's seen as natural that those who sit at the top rule over the rest.
It's the same old wall as the rest of Dahna at the end of the day, just with a different coat of paint.
I guess it can change people's attitudes if they can at least serve someone they respect.
But they're still being deceived. It's obvious that's what's happening.
On the one hand, her loyalty really did seem to be genuine. But on the other hand, Calaglia had its fair share of Dahnans who just accepted Renin rule because it was all they'd ever known. With that in mind, it can be hard to tell if her loyalty truly came about on its own, or if it's just the result of years of subjugation.
Who knows? It might clear some things up if we hear what Dohalim has to say.
Yeah, you're right. Let's make our way to the palace.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster. I just don't get it. The Dahnans have endured years of suffering. How could they just turn around and trust the Renins all of a sudden?
Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing. But I guess they must have a pretty good reason, right?
Like what? What could erase 300 years of pain and suffering?
Maybe it's precisely because they suffered for so long that they see Dohalim as something of a savior.
Hey, whose side are you on here, Alphen?
Relax, Rinwell. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't jump to assumptions about these people until we know more about the situation.
I just don't get it.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
This should definitely keep you guys full. I guess that towering structure at the center is the palace.
You think it's dangerous to go inside?
It's not a question of danger. We're going inside regardless.
Hey!
Pretty fancy place they got here.
There's no way this isn't a trap.
Your guests, my lord.
Thank you, Kisara. You're the wielder of the blazing sword, the liberator of Calaglia. You do dress humbly for someone of such grandeur. But where are my manners? I am the ruler of Elde Menancia. I'm Lord Dohalim Ilkaris.
If you know who we are, then you know how strange it is to invite us into your palace.
I thought I'd clear up your misconceptions before things could escalate. What do you say? You did come here to defeat me, did you not?
Perhaps, and what if we did? Are you planning to fight us here?
I don't think that will be necessary. After all, I imagine you've taken in a fair amount of Viscint by this point. Have you come across even one slave being abused? Soldiers killing for sport? Suffering of any form? I would hazard that you have not. For I have liberated Menancia from its suffering and brought joy to its people. But if these results are not enough to stay your sword, I commend you for your boldness, but it won't work on me. Still, your would-be assassination cannot go unpunished.
Alphen!
Fair enough. Allow me to host you for dinner. We shall continue our talk then. Kelzelik,
Yes, my lord.
please escort our guests if you would be so kind.
As you wish, sire.
That's what you get for being so careless.
What I get? What were you thinking attacking him on your own?
What are you upset about? Our whole goal is supposed to be overthrowing the lords. Remember?
He could have been hurt.
And it wouldn't have been the first time either. What's gotten into you?
Hey, you do know that Alphen is really just worried about you, right?
He's worried?
I mean, that's what it looked like to me. But maybe not.
It pains me to see that Renan cuisine isn't to your liking. I asked my chefs to prepare only the finest delicacies available. 2 wasted opportunities.
Why did you set the Dahnans here free when you took over?
But you are mistaken. You see, I may rule single-handedly, but on my own, even I cannot change the order of things. But what is within my power is the welfare of the people. The fostering of a mutual respect among the classes. This I can change.
Sounds a lot like the Dahnans are still oppressed, if you ask me.
Only in the sense they continue to serve as laborers, yes. However, I assure you they are fairly compensated for their efforts. This harmony we strive for is the current pinnacle of Renan-Dahnan coexistence.
Harmony and coexistence between the Renans and the Dahnans.
What about the crown contest? This doesn't exactly make you a shoo-in.
And yet, the Dahnans here are even more productive than when they used to face daily lashings. In any case, the crown contest is of little importance to me, and even less to Elde Menancia. You see, I have no interest in becoming sovereign.
Stop this! Please! It's over! Stop!
How could you? I swear, I'll never forgive you for this!
It is not by choice that one assumes the throne of a realm. But sovereign is a different matter entirely. I have no interest in playing their game.
Are you saying you'll withdraw from the contest?
I guess if you don't plan to ascend the throne, there's not much reason to harvest energy from Dahnans, is there?
Let the ambitious fight it out amongst themselves. All I care for is maintaining peace throughout my realm.
So what? Your personal desires are all that matter to you?
Take a look in the mirror. I may not play their games, but you have outright betrayed your own. You've torn down 2 of my fellow lords. What precisely is your aim? Spare me your answer. I care not for your reasons. Suffice it to say, I will not impede you. That said, should you threaten the peace of my realm, I will respond. I suggest you conclude your business and leave Menancia at your earliest convenience. Kelzelik. Our guests depart. Please see to their lodgings for the night.
I shall arrange for rooms for you all at a local inn. It is a short ways down the road. You may stay there for the night, after which I suggest you promptly make your departure.
Damn, look at how ritzy this place is. How many rooms do you think it's got?
Don't you think you're being a little too relaxed? They could strike at any moment.
If they were going to attack us, they would have done it already.
So you're the blazing sword of Colaglia now, huh? Come to think of it, I remember Ganabelt calling you that too.
Yeah, you're getting to be pretty famous among the lords.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing either.
What do you mean? That's something you should be proud of, if anything, Alphen. They're scared of you, man. You're a real badass.
It's not as simple as that, Law. The more well-known he is, the more people might come after him.
No, that's not what I'm worried about.
It isn't?
When people call me that, it feels like there's something hanging over me that shouldn't be there. It's hard to put into words, but it's something that doesn't feel like a part of me. Something I can't let be a part of me. Or else.
Well, I still think it's pretty amazing, but that's just me.
So what is Mahag Sar exactly?
One of the 5 realms of Dahnan. From the sound of it, Kelzelik had some dealings with them.
What's this thing?
Whoa! What is this place? The shelves here are filled with books! Not just Renin books either. There are tons of Dahnan ones too!
Rinwell, I get that you're excited, but we've got more important things to worry about right now.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. this one of your friends, Hoodle?
Who?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I'm getting pretty hungry.
Want to sit down and fix something?
Yep, the sooner the better.
Do you really think we should trust accommodations from a Renan lord? How do we know it's safe?
Like we have any other choice. We can't go and set up camp outside of town at this hour.
Honestly, I'd still take that over staying here. What if they try to kill us in our sleep?
I doubt that's the case. His best chance to kill us would have been back at the palace. His true intentions aside, for now, at least we're in his good books.
Then we probably shouldn't test his patience. Let's find that inn and check in.
Interesting. All we ever got was a tattered blanket, a rock-hard bed, and well past its prime food.
What are you talking about?
What we got for our slave labor back in Calaglia. As you can tell, it wasn't much at all. Here, the Dahnans get the same basic amenities, but the quality is way better than anything we were given. Hell, apparently they even get time off to do what they want. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure how to take all this in.
Could it be that things were simply harsher in Calaglia compared to everywhere else?
It was the same in Cyslodia, too. Our buildings and clothing were equipped to handle the cold, but that was the only difference. Working the floodlights was a form of punishment, so we didn't really get rewarded for anything that we did.
Yeah, you could be assigned to fix food or make daily necessities too, but when all was said and done, most of that stuff went to the Renans. There wasn't much in the way of compensation for any of that, so I'd say that Cyslodia and Calaglia were both pretty awful.
Then Elde Menancia really is unusual.
To say the least. Hell, I might even go so far as to call it crazy. But the fact remains, Dahnans aren't free here.
Yeah, no matter how happy they look, they're still slaves.
I don't even know what to think right now. This is all way too much to deal with. It's giving me a headache. So that was Lord Dohalim, huh? He sure is something. Definitely not like the other lords we've met up until now.
At first, he sounded like just some snobby royal, but he immediately shut down Shion's surprise attack. He's tougher than he looks.
Definitely. After all, he's a lord for a reason.
The food was pretty damn good, too.
Why are you two complimenting him? You just said it yourself, Alphen. He's a Renan lord.
Yeah, but he didn't act hostile towards us.
You're reading him wrong. He's acting indifferent. He's attempting to keep some distance between himself and everyone else. It's obvious.
What are we going to do then? Viscint seems to be legit peaceful. Are we just gonna do as he says and leave things be?
I'm not entirely sure. For now, I think it would be best for us to rest at the inn and think about our options.
Welcome, fair travelers. Lord Dohalim's retainer told us to expect you. It is an honor for you to stay with us. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
This is better than I expected.
Hmm?
The room. It's nice.
Huh? Oh, yeah. It is pretty nice.
You okay, La? You're a million miles away.
Nah, it's weird. I felt strange ever since we arrived here. Can't seem to shake it. Maybe it's something about this place.
You're just tired. I'm feeling pretty sluggish myself.
You too?
Seriously, you two? A word to the wise, our work here is far from over. Get yourselves together.
Sorry, but I need to call it a day. Let's meet back here tomorrow morning and see where things go from there. Sound good?
Sure, but keep an eye out for anything strange, okay? We still don't know how safe this place really is. Are you two feeling any better?
Yeah, a good night's sleep seems to have done the trick.
I wonder why we felt so out of it. You think it might have been because of all the food we ate?
You don't think they slipped something into our food, do you? That must be it.
If they were making an attempt on our lives, we'd know it by now. Though, on the other hand, they could be warning us off.
Come to think of it, you didn't eat anything at the meal, Rinwell. Aren't you starving?
Oh, I made myself something later.
You missed out. That was some mighty fancy grub they served yesterday.
What? And give the enemy a chance to poison me too? Are you crazy?
What's the big deal? Shion ate it too, remember? And we both tried the same stuff.
Well, maybe they laced it with poison that's only harmful to Dahnans, hmm?
That's enough, Rinwell.
A cat? Where'd it come from?
There's something on its collar. Hold on a sec.
I think it's trying to lead us somewhere.
I'm gonna follow it.
Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Stay close. We're gonna lose it.
What's gotten into you, Law?
This might be the lead we've been waiting for.
Seriously?
Yeah. Some people train animals to act as messengers. They don't attract attention, see?
And you think that someone might be using that cat? To reach out and send us a message or something?
I could be wrong, but it's possible.
I'm impressed. I would never have thought of that.
I should know. We used to use them in Cyslodia.
She's so adorable.
You say something?
So, that black cat, do you think it works for someone?
I'm sure it does. It wouldn't try to lead us around like that if somebody didn't train it to.
I wouldn't know. I've never had one myself. If I did, it'd probably try to eat poor Hoodle.
I wonder who they are, though. I doubt this is Dohalim's work.
Yeah, he has no reason to do this. Although we can't rule out that it might be one of his lackeys either.
You think one of his subordinates is up to something?
That Dohalim guy is a pretty unusual character for a Renan, let alone for a lord. It's hard for me to imagine that they all agree with what he's doing. Maybe one of them plucked up the courage to go rogue.
Well, let's head further in. I'd like to figure out at least one of the mysteries of this place.
Where do you think it's trying to lead us?
Who knows? We should hurry. We don't want to lose it.
Whoever came up with this is pretty damn clever.
Yeah, it just looks like an ordinary cute cat.
We lost sight of the cat.
After the chase it's led us on, there's gotta be something up ahead.
Let's go farther in.
I get that underground forests aren't exactly something you see every day, but I really could have done without any Zeugles running around.
You said it. I get the city up top surrounded by castle walls, but now I won't be able to sleep easy knowing they're lurking underneath.
You have nothing to fear. Zeugles work for the Renans. There might be strays out here, but the other Zeugles won't let them get close.
Using Zeugles to keep watch over their own kind, huh? That would explain why we're not seeing any guards.
Yeah, which makes it that much easier for someone to hide around here, too.
Ah! Sorry, Shion. My foot slipped. Are you all right?
I should be asking you. What am I saying? Of course you're okay. It's easy to forget sometimes. If anybody else had been in your place, they'd be howling right about now.
Huh? Oh, right. You mean your thorns. Yeah, I'm, no worse for wear over here. Again, sorry for brushing you like that without warning.
Well, just be careful. Hey, Alphen?
Hmm?
Forget it. It's nothing. I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, okay.
What's with those two?
Say no more!
Well done! Pierce Eagle! Raging Tempest! Freeze Lancer!
All aboard the victory train!
Overconfidence can bite you in the butt.
Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over...
Stop memorizing my move!
The reason the trees around here are so big is because of astral energy, right?
It's possible, but give them enough time and trees can get pretty big on their own without any extra help.
No choice!
I don't need that astral energy!
Say no more!
I I think I'm getting stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Vanquish Eternal devastation!
Confiscated!
Orochi's fury!
Do it! Whatever you do, astral energy!
Say no more.
Well done!
Rain slash!
Barely a blip on our radar.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I never quit darkness! I'm on it! Talon Orochi's fury!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off.
You made quick work of them!
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Out of our way!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
You made quick work of them!
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Do it! Just pointing it out!
These little ones are hardly worth our time. I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Careful. We don't want to fall here.
Yeah, I doubt anyone would hear if we even called for help.
I don't think people flattened into pancakes can call for help anyway. Little help!
I'm surrounded!
Eat this! It's on! First strike!
Be careful, everyone. This one isn't normal.
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Serum, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
We can really make weapons with this?
That equipment should come in handy.
There.
This one's gonna be tough! Do it! Swallow Blade!
sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
No choice.
I'll smash you!
Come and face me!
I'm on it!
Ignite!
Swallow Blade!
We've turned the tables on it.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Take this! Vanquish
Ferocious Fury!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
Little help! Let me help! Firmament Ranger!
Here I come!
Are those arms even natural? You're mine! You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here, come
Do
help
it! How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Out of our way!
Ferocious Fury!
I'll end you!
Slash!
Here I go!
Swallow Blade!
This one's gonna
Do
be
it!
tough.
Astral Energy!
Say no more. Shot!
Well done! Air
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Go no further!
I'm like
We got the advantage!
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, cause Raw's on!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more talking. Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than...
Talon Hurricane!
This could be useful. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Yes, we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again.
Should we really take this?
Everywhere you look, it's nothing but green, green, and more green.
Just like Calaglia. Rocks, rocks, and more rocks.
And Cyslodia. Snow, snow, and more snow.
Why are you talking funny?
Gotta break through!
This one's mine!
They got me flanked!
Lightning order!
This one's gonna be tough!
Storm!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
It's crazy. I've never seen anything like these plants before. It's like they're an invasive species. Not that I'm surprised. Calaglia's all dry and Cyslodia is...
Watch out!
The hell? Is that a Zoogle?
That thing is huge! Everyone, be careful!
Why can't these dumb plants just keep to themselves?
Less whining and more fighting, thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
Watch! The enemy is over there!
Where are you going?
Raining slash! Blew away!
Not on my watch!
Raining
Vanquish
slash!
darkness!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
I can
Right.
carve through
No time to
armor.
hold back.
Raining slash!
Divine taste! You're mine! May 1,000
Damn it! You can't get close enough to hit the main body!
Let's start by taking out the tentacles!
Orochi's fury!
Air thrust! Light
This one's all mine! My turn!
Freezing storm!
Mirage!
Vanquish darkness!
Raining slash!
Tornado!
Burn in hell! Orochi's fury!
Here we go! Terminating Render!
Blew away! Raining slash!
Dance in the wind!
Raining slash!
Air thrust!
Orochi's fury!
The tactics are working great!
Full speed ahead!
Hey, wait for Wall!
Infernal turret!
Here goes!
Slash!
Vanquish darkness!
Try this! Infernal turret!
Anything in armor is all mine!
There! Got you!
Raining
Divine
slash!
streak! Where are you going?
I can carve through armor!
Don't mind if I do!
Rip and tear!
Glacial
Orochi's
Warrior!
fury!
Here's
Go!
evil!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Everyone okay?
I'm starting to get that it's a trap feeling again, guys.
We'll just pray you're wrong. Hey, there's that cat.
Looks like it's not done leading us yet.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
I can feel my precision improving.
Should we really be lighting a campfire in the middle of a forest?
You scared of starting a fire? As long as we put it out thoroughly afterwards, we'll be fine. Really, it's a good thing to have a fire here. It'll keep the Zoogles away.
Have you both forgotten what we've come out here to do?
I'll let them relax, Shion. It's good to unwind every now and again.
If you say so.
You should get some shut-eye. I think we've rested long enough. Let's keep moving.